Good evening, everyone. This is Henry Gambell with SimplerOptions.com, and in tonight's free video, I wanted to share some ideas with you on symmetry in time. Now, you'll see this in a lot of different places, and of course, like all analysis, it's not going to work all the time, but it's a pattern that once you start to see it, you can't unsee it, and I think you'll find it very helpful with technical analysis. We're going to use the first example of looking at STZ. You can see, and this is something that when you just glance at the chart, I think the more that you look at charts, you start to see what might strike you as a little bit of a repeatable pattern here. It just looks very similar in the way that it has moved here over the course of the past several weeks. Now, as you actually try to put a level to it or a way of thinking, you can come back into Thinkorswim, and we'll come down to find our Fibonacci time extensions. And the idea that I'm sharing here is that if the stock likes to fall in a 1, 2, 3, 4-day correction, what's to say that that's not all it's gone through here? It was another 1, 2, 3, 4-day correction. Now, once again, I'm not trying to call the low just yet. We haven't really seen buyers come in to much of a degree here. And if this day doesn't hold, I'm going to extend it out just a couple more to match this pattern. So I'm not going to count it out for you, but you can see the idea of the numerical or the trading days that we're progressing through, and then take the second comparison with it. And of course, the more that you have confluences of this type of work, the better it's going to tend to play out for you. So if you zoom into this just a touch, you can see the idea of the movement in time would suggest that STZ may be looking for a bottom here over the course of either tomorrow, and if not tomorrow, as you get into the first part of next week, as that will come in right on the 7th. So that's a name that I think is worth watching for a bounce in that way. And another place where it came through really cleanly today was in Goldman Sachs. Now, I've been wanting to try and buy these off the weekly charts, but they've given me nothing in the way of telling me that the signal has reversed. Even as it came down through the 200-day, you never really saw any type of a trigger, and that can be helpful in keeping you out of a market. If we expand this daily chart, you can see the exact same concepts we shared in STZ, just over a slightly larger time frame. Now, I've done this two ways, by using the actual fib tool that takes this high against this low, these moments in time, and then projects it from this high to this low. And you can see that even when it looked like everything was falling apart here in Goldman Sachs, we've now found a little bit more buying than we have for the past several sessions. So I think that this will be an important low for Goldman Sachs. And just to redraw this, I will remove this drawing and remove this one, but in Thinkorswim, you can come in and look at this and say, use the trendline tool, anchor to your first point, and then before clicking for the second time, you can see how your context menu pops up and will tell you, okay, this was a decline of 15 bars. If you click once and then duplicate the trend line, then it's the same way of saying this is the exact same type of a decline. So a couple different ways to measure it, a couple different ways to apply the analysis, but it can be very helpful in trying to not come in and short the lows, and of course to find good spots to sell premium. So I'll be watching these levels in both of those names tomorrow to see if they can give me some opportunity, and I hope you find it helpful in your trading.
So in this kind of environment where the volatility is kind of crazy from day to day, it makes it more difficult to swing trade. For those of you that have never done futures, well, there's two things about futures. One is that futures are actually the most clean way to trade directionally, especially on an intraday basis, although you can do it any time frame. But also, the signals, even if you don't trade futures, if you understand how they work and how to chart them, say that you prefer to trade the QQQ versus the NASDAQ futures, well, the signals on the NASDAQ futures are actually way better than the QQQ itself. So understanding how to read the futures is great. But what we're going to be doing is a class this Saturday. It's called the Futures Freedom Plan. So that's the link here, simplertrading.com/futures-freedom. And it'll be a strategy class Saturday, May 5th from noon to 4 with live trading on the 8th and 9th. We're going to be doing trading on this live so you can see exactly what's going on and you can follow along. Now, if you're familiar, I don't know if for those of you that know Danielle and Raghee, Danielle has stormed out of the gate, essentially going from, essentially a kind of a stay-at-home mom to now making a living trading, and just the journey that she was on is incredible, and the way that she has been able to assimilate all the information from the traders that she works with here, and then not only use the parts that work best for her, but then teach it in a very, very easy to understand and straightforward manner. So people love the way she does that, which is great. And then Raghee, of course, has been doing this. You know, she and I have been doing this for a long time, and she's also going to be coming in and just kind of showing from a bigger picture perspective, kind of what's going on. So anyway, this is going to be a fantastic class. If you've traded futures before or you've understood stuff, this is a way to kind of take it to the next level. But really, this is also designed for people. It's like, you know, if you're kind of intrigued by the idea of futures, don't be scared off by this, because yeah, you're going to be, you know, for those of you that understand futures, you're going to be learning specific strategies that work for Danielle and Raghee. But if you're newer to futures, this is an opportunity to get in and really kind of take a lot of the risk out of it versus, you know, wading into the swamp without any knowledge. So how this will work is that the strategy class is $397. Okay, if you are a gold member of the future site, it's $297. And then the pro version, which includes the Saturday class plus 2 days of live trading, okay, which is, you know, that's just awesome, is $797. If you are a gold member, you can get it for $597. And then just click here and you'll be good to go. And if you need more information, just go to this page. You can scroll down and you'll see there's a ton of information. The instructors, that'll be there. All the bonuses here. You get a correlations checklist, a risk checklist, market correlations video, identifying floors and ceilings video. So all kinds of great stuff there. And yeah, this is going to be awesome. All right. So you guys have a fantastic evening, and we'll see you at the next update.